Now let us understand concept of type conversions. C# is statically typed at compile time. In C#, once you declare a variable, then it cannot be declared again or used to store values of another type. For example, if you declare a variable, let's say I, which is of type integer, then you cannot declare I variable again. Or if you have declared a variable integer I, then you can't store a string value into this integer variable. But sometimes it is required to convert a variable type into another variable type, and this is called as type conversion. You can store another type value only if that type is convertible to the original variable's type. So you can do type conversion only if there is a compatibility between both types. There are two types of type conversions. First one is implicit and the other one is explicit. In case of implicit conversions, conversion is type safe and no data loss happens on conversion. Implicit conversions require no special syntax. For example, when we are converting an integer value to long. In this case, there is no data loss when we convert from integer to long. So in such case, there is absolutely no special syntax required. The next type is explicit conversion, and this is also called as casting. Casting requires a cast operator. In case of also in explicit conversions, both variable types are compatible, but there is possibility of data loss. And using cast operator, we actually inform the compiler that we want to do the conversion and we are aware of the possible data loss. For example, we can cast a double to an integer. Now you can see here, I have a double variable double d and the value of double d is 675.45. And then I have integer I and I am casting double to an integer. Now here, because there is possibility of data loss, I have to explicitly cast it. So this is how I am informing the compiler, I am aware of the data loss and still I want to go ahead and convert it. Now with this, let's go ahead and use implicit and explicit conversions in C#. Now we are back to our C# environment. Now let's see how to do implicit and explicit conversions. Now let me declare an integer variable. Let me put some value. Let me declare a long variable. Let me also put some value to it. And now let me assign the integer I to this long L. And now let me print the values console.writeLine. Value of I is and value of L is. And then I have I and L. So here I am printing the values of I and L. So this is called as implicit conversion. Now you can see here there is no special syntax required, as if I am initializing one variable to another. Because long and int both are compatible, so I can be converted to long, there are no issues. And also because there is no data loss, when you convert an integer value to long, it goes into implicit conversion category. Now let me just run it. Now you can see value of I is 12 and value of L is also 12. Now let me just show you one more thing. Let me just reverse this. So let me initialize I with L. And now if I try to compile, now you can see here it has given me an error. Cannot implicitly convert type long to integer. Why? Because there is a possibility of data loss. And hence it is suggesting that you have to do an explicit conversion here. Now let us see how to do the explicit conversion. So let me again change back this code. And now let me declare a variable which is of type double. So let's say double D1. Let me put some value to this double. And now let me assign this double D1 to my variable I. And now if I try to compile it, you can see it has given error, cannot implicitly convert type double to integer. Why? Because there is a possibility of data loss, hence compiler is not allowing me to do that. So what I need to do? I need to use the casting. So let me use cast operator and cast it by using integer. And now if I compile it, you can see compiler has successfully compiled. So using this casting operator, I have told compiler, even if there is a possibility of data loss, still I want to go ahead and convert this. Now let me print the value of this I and D1. So let me just change the code a little bit. That's it. Now let me run it. Now you can see value of I is 675 and value of D1 is 675.45. So that's how after explicit conversion, some data got lost and what I have is only integer part of it. So this is called as explicit conversion.